Hello, thanks for joining me today on my channel. This is Discovering My Dividends. And well, I'm kind of on a little bit of a challenge to make $1 million in less than 7 years. Now, my channel's got 13 subscribers. I'd like to be monetized by the end of August, and it's May. So by the end of the month, I'd like to be at 100 subscribers. If you can click subscribe and like, that would help me out. I appreciate it very much. And that would get my channel rolling. And hopefully, that monetization will happen by the end of August. Now, I do have some interesting news today on my investment challenge, because I was talking a bit about strategy last time, where strategy kind of helps you make decisions to buy something. Strategy helps you decide whether you're going to hold it or sell it, and that kind of ends up giving you a little bit better direction, right? So you're going to stay away from having those emotional buys and sells, making mistakes that you might make when you don't have that direction. So having a plan, having a strategy is all really important. So I'd mentioned that I bought WCP. Now, it's a Canadian stock on Canadian Stock Exchange. Remember, I'm not an advisor, so this is not advice to go out and buy something. I'm basically sharing my experience here. But with my strategy, I'm looking for that quick turnover, but my sells, I kind of tier. So I'll sell one at 1%, then the next one at 2%, but I'll buy all at a certain price. So I bought WCP the first time, and I had one sale, but the rest didn't sell. So I'm ended up holding it. Dividend's fine. I believe this company's going to go up in price at some point, whether it's sooner or later, but we'll see. But that's kind of, I felt it was a good position to buy. It dropped again, and so I decided, I like this stock enough to buy it again. It's a little bit chancy with all that's going on. There's some conflict with Saudi Arabia and Russia, I believe. I don't know the full details on it, but that's what's bringing the price down. OPEC, I don't know if it's Saudi Arabia specifically, but OPEC is kind of pushing the price down. So that's pushing this price down for the stock more. So I bought more. I got one sale, I got one turnaround. Again, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is to get that one stock turnaround. My whole strategy is based on that 1%. And in the other portion, I've actually planned that it will not sell right away. So I'm not worried about that necessarily, as long as I keep getting some cash flow turnover. I got two more sales today, so less than a week. I've got two more sales on the second one. And the price was climbing. I might get some more sales. I may not. We'll see how that works out. But now I've basically got to the point where my strategy did pay off. I've got more of a percentage return because those extra sales were at a higher rate, and I've now got more cash flow. So cash flow that I, again, was willing to have in a hold position to collect a dividend. If I don't collect a dividend, I get the sale, I get the turnover, I get the higher rate. It's all good. And so my strategy is holding true, even though right now the market situation is a little bit uncertain, a little bit volatile. And there's several factors, not only the oil conflict, but the trade wars, the threat of maybe a worldwide recession, the fact that the Trump tariffs are possibly creating a situation at the LA ports where they're going to have far less traffic there, which means there's going to be far less truck traffic, which means, again, fuel is going to be in far less demand. And so stuff like that is potentially going to affect this stock price. So whether or not I get the turnaround in the short term is really doubtful, but I'm going to stick to my strategy because I believe at some point this is all going to turn around, hopefully sooner than however long the president's in office. So that was kind of essentially a positive, showing that sticking with your strategy does allow you to kind of have things work out. Now, I don't have a lot of opportunity. I got this extra cash flow. There hasn't been opportunity to buy anything right now, or at least not with the amount of cash that I have. I don't do fractional buys right now at this point because I'm going for the smaller amounts. When I was looking at swing trading, fractional buys were okay, because if I had a gain of 10% and I sold it and then all of a sudden the price dropped while I was waiting for the fractional sell to happen, that's, 8% is okay. But if I'm only trying to get 1% and it drops down, I could get zero or even lose money, because fractional buys and sells, you can't put a limit price. And so I always sell at a limit price to ensure the price I buy it at is what I want it, and the price I sell it for is higher than what I bought it for, right? So that's definitely, as a new investor, you want to look at limit buys and limit sells. That guarantees you get your profit, and you know that you bought it at X and now you're selling it at X plus whatever number you deem feasible. And if you want to be somebody who does a lot of stock watching, you can buy it at X, and then you can sit there and wait to see where it goes up to and then sell it. That would ensure you might get a lot more out of the stock than what I do, but I don't sit and watch it. So when I put it in for the sale price, I put it in for my 1% gain. If it goes up 4 or 5% or 10% the next day, I miss out on all that other extra increase. I don't consider that a loss, because I don't have the time to sit and watch my stocks on a daily basis. I just know I want the turnover, I want the cash flow, and I want the profit that I'm looking at getting from those sales. So that is kind of my priority. And if I can do that on a regular basis, I know I'm going to be up. And right now I'm at, I'll just double check it again here. My current increase, well, the day's up 1.7%. For the week, I'm at 2.4%. And for the month, I'm at 10% increase. And like I said, I don't really put a lot of weight on that, because at any given time, the stock market can be up or down. I could be holding lots of stocks or have lots of cash. So that may or may not be a positive or negative. And it might just be purely situational. So at this point, everything's kind of looking like it's going as planned. I'd like to see a little bit more increase on a monthly basis, but it's improving and the strategy is holding true. So hope you'll join me for my next video. Follow along, see how I'm doing on this investment challenge. If you're a new investor, check out my links below. I do have some information that might help you before you get started. And if you're in Canada, I use Wealthsimple. I have a link there because I use them and I really like them. You can try whichever online broker you want, but make sure they're easy to use and get as low a fees as possible, because that will help you when you're doing your sales to get the most profit you can out of each sale. All right, see you next time.